How you doing? And welcome back. I'm Master Antonio Garcia for the Kookaroo Samurai. What we're going to take a look at today is a basic stance that you can use if you're just starting out, or if you want to learn maybe a different way of standing during a fight that we use. Now, we don't really necessarily use any specific stances in Kookaroo Jiu-Jitsu because we do grappling, judo, and close quarter weapons. So it's very difficult to have any specific kind of stance when you could be attacked in any variation of ways, whether it be someone grabbing you or someone taking you to the ground. So stances really don't have a lot of role. But what we do have is pretty much a basic philosophy of standing when you're practicing techniques, and also pretty much a way of recovering into a position, a defensive position, to kind of protect yourself a little bit. Okay? So what we're going to take a look at is a basic stance, and we're going to work our way from the feet all the way back up. Okay? Now the first thing we want to do is our feet positioning. We want to keep our feet just about shoulder width apart. Okay? I know there's a lot of styles out there that have really wide stances, like a horse stance, where you come in like this, okay, and their feet are distributed out, you know, pretty far. Only downside of this is that when you're a grappler, you deal with people who can sweep or throw, okay, you have your center of gravity distributed way too far out. So if somebody comes in and kicks one of my legs out from underneath me, it's impossible for me to shift my weight fast enough to avoid falling down. So if I'm in a fighting stance here and somebody kicks my leg out from underneath me, it's very difficult for me to shift my weight to my other leg, and that's where you end up falling down. So bringing your feet closer together, if somebody were to come in and kick your leg out and sweep you, you can easily shift your weight to your opposite leg. Someone comes in from behind you, sweeps your back leg, or buckles your knee, you can easily shift your weight from one leg to the other because they're closer together. Okay? Now, as far as like a basic way to stand, pretty much the way we teach is you want to have your lead foot pointed towards your opponent. So depending on where your opponent is, you kind of have your lead foot pointed toward them. And your back foot is going to be perpendicular, pretty much off 90 degrees. This will give you a nice round sense of balance. If both your feet are facing the same direction, you're going to be off balance from side to side. And if your feet are facing the same direction here, you're going to be off balance from front to back. So having one foot this way and one foot this way kind of gives you a nice round, because you have toes facing two different directions, a little better support in those areas. Okay? Now, moving up, you want to make sure you keep your knees down. There's a lot of styles that teach to be real light on the feet, like this. The only problem is that they're not going against grapplers. If you're going against a grappler, and every time you lift your feet up, like a judo master, like myself, they're going to come in as soon as you jump up and sweep you. Okay? So it's important that you keep your weight down low. Keep your knees down, so if someone does come in and grab you or try to throw you, you can drop your weight and become like a rock, and, you know, immovable. So you want to keep your knees bent and loose. This will also help you, allow you to be able to jump higher if you need to do like a jump technique, okay, and drop your weight if you need to. Okay, moving on up, you want to make sure your waist is always underneath your chest. Okay, so when you throw a strike, you should never lean forward like this. Your hips are behind you, and your motion is going forward. So if you throw a punch when you're reaching for your opponent, they're giving a lot of forward motion. If they know how to do judo, they can grab your leg and throw you forward. Likewise, if you end up doing a strike like this, where you're swinging at the same time you're leaning back, now I'm creating backwards motion because my hips are now in front of me. So if someone can actually shoot in, tackle me, and take me backwards. So you want to make sure that your hips are always underneath your chest. That way you always have that stability. Okay? You want to keep your chest up as much as possible. Okay, so keep from looking forward. Okay, so even when you're doing a throw, try to have it set up to where your chest is up until you can see your opponent. Okay? And of course, always keep your hands up. So this is pretty much a basic stance that you can use to practice. Your feet are somewhat sort of width apart. Come in like this. Hands are always up. Hips underneath you. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Sorry about the wind, but hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Feel free to visit our website or share the message with something specific you'd like to see. I know I'm going to get some messages that people want to